WBAI New York. All day long, all day strong. It's the Hip Hop Takeover. 99.5 WBAI.
Hip hop is saving your mother.
Regularly scheduled programming will not be seen at this time, so that we may bring you Mama Luke.
Mama Luke.
Everybody, Mama Luke!
Walk the Walk Radio.
Welcome to the Mama Luke Walk the Walk radio show. What's going on, New York City? I'm your host, legendary hip-hop artist, Can't Go Kid. You remember the group UTFO, made popular by that song Roxanne, Roxanne. And I'm here with my co-host, my BFF, my right hand, Shonda Minister, Shonda Lumpkin. What's up, girl?
What's up, Kango? Hi, New York.
All right, now, she hasn't been well for a minute. You ain't been well, so welcome back to the world of healthy. So we have an incredible show set up for you guys today. I want to give a shout out to my DJ that is here today, DJ Diamond. This cat is DJ for, alright? This cat has DJ for everyone. I mean, I'll give you the list.
Prince.
Yeah, I'll give you the list later because we have 1 hour and it's an hour packed. So, we want to make sure we get everything in. We could not have done this without the support of a few people. So it's very important that we give them the shout out. And you take that away.
Definitely want to thank Marbe Clothing. We appreciate your business. Thank you so much. And Kango Headwear. Also, Dougie's Restaurant. Sim Jeans. Thank you. GGI, excuse me. Also, Rockin' Soul. Thank you, Sharon. We love you.
All right. Let's see. Chetney Cake. Chetney, good looking out. We'll address that later in the show, of course. Fila Footwear.
Definitely want to shout out VIP Smiles, Dr. Catrice Austin. Love you. Verizon.
All right. Please go onto the page and you'll see exactly, how all these things can benefit you guys. Sun Touch It. Ty Meeks. Ty's been doing this thing for us and he's one of the reasons why we're here today. So I definitely want to give him a shout out. And Premium for the energy drink. So that's it. That's for the business part of this. So again, today's show, let me say, is really addressing something that's been hitting home. A lot of you guys know that hip hop is fighting breast cancer, and the movement is called the Mama Luke movement. You guys need to go to the page. That's the Facebook page, Facebook.com Mama Luke GFL. That's MAMALUKE GFL. Now, for those that have not clicked like on that page, it's very important that you do that today because WBAI has agreed to facilitate $1 for each individual that clicks like between the hour of 4 and 5. So you have my permission to start now. Call your friends, call your family.
We need you.
All right. We definitely need you. If you haven't done anything for breast cancer, here's an opportunity. You don't have to do anything. You're not really donating anything. All you got to do is go online right now and click like. Get us as much as we can within this hour, and WBAI will facilitate $1 for each person that clicks. All right. So we want to get on to the interview. You're going to hear a word from me right now, good friend. You're going to hear that throughout this throughout this hour because we had a lot of good friends come through and help us do this. These are cats that have shared their stories with us. Breast cancer has, it doesn't discriminate. All right, does not discriminate. So it's affecting, your favorite hip hop artists, your entertainers, and everyone in your household. And so we have a few influential people, people that you grew up on, that are going to speak about their dealings with this. So we refer to today as D-Day. Today is a day of discussion of how hip hop deals with, has defeated, and or will destroy this dreadful disease. So it's D-Day. All right, so I don't know if we're ready with the first caller or not. Are we? Okay, and so all right, so the dude that we have on the line right now is a real good friend of mine. Again, you're going to hear that word a lot. He's a member of one of hip-hop's dynamic duos. The group is called Nice and Smooth, and I have on the phone with me Greg Nice. Greg, you there? What's good, man?
I'm chilling, baby. I'm part of the dynamic duo. I'm chilling.
That's cool. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. How you been, man? Everything good with you?
Yes, God is great. You know that. God is great all the time. Life's short. You're here today, gone today, and I'm enjoying my time as I grow. I'm learning to appreciate what's going on, and that's what it is.
Yes, sir. Now, what was it, a few months ago, I came to you with that Mama Luke t-shirt that every hip hop artist has been signing, and you wrote something so special on there that I wanted to share with everyone what you wrote, and I wanted you to share with everyone why you wrote it. What you wrote is, you wrote, "My mom just beat this ish." All right? So tell me what that was about. That was so powerful. What was that?
I mean, you know, at the time, a lot of people was going through it, but it just so happened my mom has to be one of the statistics that she went through this. So she came upon the breast cancer thing, man. It snuck up on her. It happened some years back. And when it was happening, I mean, I was a younger kid. I didn't really understand that. But I started to notice her size and mood swings and things happening. So I started to come having some understanding about what it was, but not so much in depth. And to the point when I started understanding that they was going to take her breast off. So I'm like, uh-oh, this is some other stuff going on here, man. It changed my whole world as far as how I was living and things that I was doing and appreciating and not holding grudges about stuff, because I didn't know how long this was going to last. I didn't know, was she going to beat this thing or was it going to tear it down? And I prayed and prayed on it, and like everybody else at the church, they prayed on it, and everybody else that knew about it prayed on it. And this time, I was on Def Jam at this time, me and Smooth, and I was going through it. And at the same time, Russell Simmons, he was going through it too with his mom. So we started talking more in depth about it. And it brought me and him closer. We had a bond. It was a beautiful thing. He even offered to help pay for medication of anything that I needed. This was a good time. This was early 90s. And my mom went in. She had an operation. And they removed her breast. And she's been here. It's been almost 20 years later. So it's a good thing, man. This medication, grabbing it before it gets too bad, and just having that will and that willpower to live, just wanting to live, man, you know, it's a great thing. Like I said in the beginning of this conversation, it's short. And as I'm growing every day, I'm learning that it's so short and it's so precious, man. Like, before you close your eyes and you open your eyes right back up, you look at the clock and you say, wow, 6-7 hours went by, but it didn't even seem like it went by, man, of sleep. I don't know about you, but every day I look and I turn and it's dark already. I'm like, what happened? Where did the day go? More bills come, but the days are getting shorter. So I learned to appreciate this, man, and not hold any grudges. And whatever I can do to help support, to go more in depth with this medication and trying to find a cure, or just releasing that cure, because I doubt if they're making trips to space and we talking through cell phones like we're doing now and all of this stuff, and you can't tell me you don't have no cure for this stuff, man. You know, y'all done made enough money. Y'all done made enough. Let these people live. Let us survive, man. Let us go long. I don't know what's going on today when the average dude is dying at 40 and 50 years old, and our ancestors, they were living 80 and 90 years old all the time, things like that. And if you were saying that the food or the things that we were eating were bad at that time, let's go back to that, because whatever that was back then, man, I mean, come on, man, look at the old folks, man. You see the 80, 90-year-old people, and those be some strong people, man. So let's go back to that, or whatever the case may be. I'm down for whatever it takes to knock this damn cancer thing out of here, man. I have so many of my buddies that just passed away from it that's younger than me. And I even have some that's my age right now, some of my close immediate friends that's been with me through my career. One of my buddies just got this type of cancer called hairy cell leukemia. And it's only, I think, about 10, 11 people with this type of cancer. So, you know, man, let's put this cure out there, man. I know it's there. You know it's there. I know it's there. Kango knows it's there. Stop playing, man.
Yo, I am so with you. That's why I just let you just vent, man. You sound like you had a lot to say, and you did, and I'm totally with you on everything you said, man. We absolutely need to stick together because, of course, when hip-hop gets involved in anything, it changes it. You remember what the pop charts looked like, 20 years ago, and now today's pop charts is all hip-hop. You know what I mean? And so I definitely want to reach out to my brothers and sisters, and, come together and change
I'm
this.
here, my blue. I'm here. I'm with it all day long. Let's take it back to the old school. Let's take it back to Africa. Let's take it back to the good days when we didn't need no medicine. Come on, man. Let's do it.
Yo, I'm so with you, man.
Let's get out and exercise. Let's go check ourselves. I gotta kick myself in the butt like Gold Member from Austin Powers, and when I can move his leg around, I gotta kick myself in the butt times to make me get up to go see my doctor and now to see my dentist, because we always wait till it's a pain or something is wrong before we go in there. Let's just go in there, man. Let's get it over with, man. You spend more money at the club. You spend more money on smoking cigarettes if you're a cigarette smoker. So might as well go and check yourself. Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and smack your own self, not just be the messenger.
Yo, I want to thank you. Yo, you dropped some serious jewels on everyone, and I know there are cats out there that appreciated everything you just said, man. I know I'm one. My dude, I got to bounce. I want to say thank you for coming aboard, for being down with this movement. And I know this ain't the last I'm going to see you on this, man. I so appreciate you being down.
Man, I'm going to see you again because we're going to stay here. We're going to stay breathing. We're going to stay doing our push-ups, and we're going to stay breathing. And after this flesh and this meat and these bones, my soul and my spirit is going to walk this planet forever.
Yo, my dude, I love you so much, man. Thank you for coming aboard.
You too, because it's Tango from UTF.
Greg, we want to thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate it. We're so happy to hear that your mom beat this thing. It's phenomenal.
There's going to be a lot of cats calling today, man. I'm so speechless with this because I didn't expect this to be the way it turned out. Everyone has their own, stories, of course, but, this is not what hip hop does. So this is totally brand new to me.
But it's amazing how it's connecting everybody together and that we're doing something about it. Absolutely.
We're just going to keep this moving because we got so many calls online. All right. We got so many cats that we want to make sure they get their stories in. And, all right. So I'm just going to move right on to the next caller.
All right.
All right. That works for you? All right.
Let's do it.
The next, bunch of cats that I have on the phone right now are my big brothers. They're our big brothers now, right?
Yeah,
all right. These cats, exactly. One big family. And, these cats birthed me in this thing called hip hop. And so, Paul Anthony and Bow-Legged Lou are on the line. And, how you guys doing, man?
Doing great, gang.
Yo, I'm so happy to have you guys on the phone with me, man. The last time we actually hooked up like this was a few months ago when I did the hip hop breakfast, and I had you guys come through, Joski, LA Sunshine, a few cats was there, and we all actually got a chance to sit down and talk, and we've not done that in years. I mean, unlike the rest of the hip hop community, we grew up together. You know what I mean? Me and you guys, you know how we do. And so, but the fact that we all got to sit down and have, a little talk about what was going on was an incredible thing. And, just share with the listeners what that was about and what your experience was with that, please.
Yeah, it was a wonderful experience, it was a wonderful experience of people just coming together, just at a time when, extension and alignment was needed. Everyone went around the table sharing their experiences of certain families and relatives here or not here that have went through their own personal battle or journey. And it was good to connect and energize, because the first step of all that is just bringing it out, or bringing it to your lips and then talking about it. So there's a lot of bonding, that's what I walked away with. There was a lot of bonding, which was great.
Yeah, same with me. This is Bow-Legged Lou. That was my brother Paul. And I felt the same way. My thing is that sometimes we don't all get together. I mean, this is a great cause and everything, but it was just great to get together and hear everybody's experiences, because everybody has went through it. I mean, our co-manager, who's in heaven right now, Steve Salem, who me and him went to college together, and I brought him in the business to help with Full Force, the group, because of his savvy at school. He majored in behavioral science, and he's such a great guy. So by him co-managing Full Force, he also co-managed UTFO, Lisa, Real Roxanne, Hitman Howie T, Cheryl Pepsi Riley, and he was a great guy. He passed away of cancer, and I will never forget when we surprised him in Kango. I'm pretty sure you remember this. When I got together, Full Force, you, Lisa, Mike from Cult Jam, and we all surprised Steve Salem, and we went to his house when he was battling this disease, and we went to his house, and sometimes that could be a big medicine. You remember that day, Kang?
Absolutely remember that, man. And you're right, that is great medicine.
And it's all positive, too. So, my thing is that we could support this, and, of course, Steve is no longer with us, but he went out like a champ, champ that he was. And my thing is that whenever we could support the Mama Luke Foundation, because I with Shonda and you're doing a great job with this, and I got to meet Shonda's mother, may she rest in peace, at a birthday party that was held for Shonda, actually, in New York, that you gave for her as a surprise, and I got to meet her. She's such a beautiful lady. And then on the cruise, the Celebrity Cruise that we all partook in, I got to meet her there as well. So, her spirit is always with us with this Walk the Walk radio, Mama Luke Radio. So I'm just so happy to be part of this as well.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to have you part of this. And not to mention, you also did an incredible thing. You played a major role in Mama Luke having one of the greatest experiences, before she left us, which was having her come aboard the Tom Joyner Fantastic Voyage. Please talk to us about that, man, because you made that happen.
Yeah, well, I know we was all performing. We're doing a house party show on the Tom Joyner cruise, and I was in charge of getting together all the acts and inviting people. And of course, I singled you out. I wanted the whole UTFO to perform, but they couldn't do it. But you, like the champ that you are, you came aboard to perform it. We got your manager, Shonda, and also Shonda's mother, because she was wondering if I could do something like that, and I made it happen. And she had the cruise of a lifetime. And she met so many celebrities. And once again, that's great medicine, and a great memory. And, the following week she passed, but she just had the time of her life. And Shonda was happy, and she was happy. We got so many pictures of Gay just smiling and beaming and just having a great time, So that was also a great moment, of course, as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, one of the things that definitely has come out of all of this is the fact that everyone gets a chance to communicate and share things that they wouldn't normally share in normal circumstances. Conversations like, what we're talking about are things that people keep hidden and, they're ashamed of, and not knowing that everyone is going through this. It makes everyone, hold it in. So I know that we just did a show recently together, Unsung on TV One. And why don't you guys please talk to me about what that's about?
Well, the Unsung that we're doing basically is like the story of our lives, but also it's the story of people that we've touched as well. It's on TV One. It'll be coming out January 30th, and we're excited about it. Of course, UTFO, Kango and Doc is part of it. Blair Underwood, and Questlove, and Chubb Rock, and our parents, our cousins of the Full Force, Warrington Hudlin from House Party, and Lisa, Cheryl Pepsi Riley, people that we've worked with. And it's promised to be an eye-opener. And you, in fact, I don't want to even give it away, but you'll see all of that on Unsung. And if I could also mention a dear friend of ours, Vesta, who passed away. I spoke to her 2 days before she passed away. Her Unsung comes out January 2nd. So, but really want you to check it out.
As a matter of fact, I think the people from Unsung feel this is one of their best episodes because we cover the gamut on a lot of things that hit home, a lot of success that or we've accomplished that people don't even know, and a lot of success stories within this unsung. Yeah, you're definitely going to want to see this.
What advice would you guys give to those that are going through this? I mean, you know, as family, as you guys are, you know, we're losing our families. What advice would you give to those that are going through that?
Mr. Paul, I think one piece, it's really not because it's very individualized in terms of, the journey. But at the same time, you have to know two things. Number one, it's not your fault. And number two, you are not alone. So you must connect, you must open up, for the phrase, come out with it, because that's the first step toward true enlightenment. The alignment of the mind, body, and spirit connection. Once that comes together, you can move mountains and change attitudes and really eradicate things that don't belong within you. So you want to do that first. And after that, it's very important to be pro and pre-minded. You want to be proactive. Don't wait, look into things, and do things beforehand. Stay healthy and follow through. But it starts with your spirit. Your spirit is what's going to fuel every prayer, every medicine, every positive and negative force. So it starts from within, and you just can't believe that. You have to know that. That's the best advice I'd give you. And you're not alone. Everybody knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that's got something. So just stay focused and just be very, very proactive and have an integrative mentality. Just integrate a lot of things, and you'll see things can happen.
Lou, you want to add on to that?
Yeah, I concur with everything that my brothers say. You have to have a strength of mind as well, and it's great to have support from your family, and we support one another. We've been supporting Mama Luke from the beginning, you know what I mean, and every other scenarios with our families and everything. And, every time Steve Salem's birthday come up, I remind the world, you know what I mean, And one thing I'd also like to share to the listeners that's also a great, great thing that people should know is that during the Mama Luke breakfast that Kango spoke about and that we all assembled at the Mama Luke breakfast, it was great that everything wasn't somber, all just somber, because it's all positivity and making people smile. And Mama Luke was in heaven smiling as Kango and Shonda hosted that breakfast. Not only did they host the breakfast, but Shonda had on her apron making scrambled eggs. Kango had pancakes, and he was putting the pancakes over his back and on everybody's plate. Shonda was grabbing the scrambled eggs and just throwing them in the air, and they landed perfectly on everybody's plate. And that's just a great thing that I love, and I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, thank you for that, Lucian. But, I do want to give a shout out to someone that actually did play a major role in that breakfast, and that's Dion Ashman from Our Gang Production. He's the one that provided this meal that you're talking about that I cooked and flipped pancakes and stuff. That was all him, and just want to give him a shout out. Thank you so much for making that happen for us. All right, fellas, look, man, thank you for you guys coming through, for being part of this from jump. I know there's so much more that we're gonna do, with this movement, and I know there's a lot of things that you guys got planned as well. I can't wait to be part of what you guys are doing. And again, man, I just want to thank you guys. I love you guys. I do. Thank you for everything, man. And on behalf of the listeners, thank you for sharing your story with us.
I love them. Thanks.
Are these guys nuts or what?
Now Lou had me up until he started talking about me flipping pancakes. Now he knows that's not my ministry, right?
He know you can't cook.
Easy.
Oh, yeah. Man. So do you guys see how powerful this is? Do you understand what's going on?
Definitely. Going to be tuned in on January 30th at TV1 to watch their show.
That's correct. Well. Please. That's the Full Force Unsung. You guys absolutely need to watch that. Now, back to the page real quick. All right. We started at, what number did we start at?
1387.
That's what we started at. Where are we now?
1394. And that's a sad testimony for what we're doing here today. So we need you to pump it up. Let's go. Where is New York? Click like.
Well, you know, actually, this is being listened to nationwide.
Really?
There are those online right now that are listening. We want to thank you guys for joining in. But call your friends and families and get them to click like on the Mama Luke page. But let's keep this moving right now. So we have another individual, of course, another good friend. They're all good friends, of course. Another good friend of ours who is currently going through it. All right. And you guys know who she is the minute I say the name. Online with us, we have Queen Pen. What's up, girl?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, man, I'm good. How are you, girl? I know you're going through it right now. I want to thank you for just joining us for a minute and sharing with us your experience. So we're not going to make this long because I know, you got a lot you're going through. Do you want to share a little bit of that with us if possible?
Well, I just, because of legal reasons, but basically, initially, besides being diagnosed with a pituitary brain tumor years ago, I kind of got myself, how can you say it, got myself not used to, but, in the regimen of dealing with that. And then a few years ago, I became really ill, and I was hospitalized, and come to find out, I have what you call pulmonary embolism. And that's when, usually people get pulmonary embolism is like if they're in the hospital or if they have surgery or, and they'll get a blood clot. That's what pulmonary embolism is. And, they're giving blood thinners and it's taken care of. But for me, I have it as a condition. So, make a long story short, I spent a long stint in the hospital last year. Kango, because we were we were communicating back and forth, and I thought I was done with all of that, And I said, well, I went in for a routine MRI, and they happened to stumble across 2 large pokes on my lungs.
Wow.
And I knew, Kango, my doctor came in. Not the residents, but my doctor came in. And when he said, could everybody except one family member please excuse yourself out the room? He never does that because he knows if there's anybody in my room, you can talk while if they're in my room. And when he came in and sat down, I said, listen here. I did the MRI twice because I wasn't sure. But I see something on your lungs. And we need to send you for this special test, and that will tell us if it comes back positive that we need to do the biopsy. And when I did finally agree to do that special test, because I have in the past have done radiation, and I just couldn't do it again, and I couldn't see my kids go through it again.
Wow.
I won't do chemo or radiation. I definitely would not do radiation again. And it's hard when your family are looking at you, and when they're not the sick ones. And it's hard for them to hear you say and for them to accept the fact that you don't want to do certain things. Because in the reality, in our minds, and well, in my mind, and cancer, I just lost one of my closest cousins at 41 to cancer. And, watching her do the chemo, and then it was okay for a minute, and then coming back, and doing it all over again, and it still didn't work. Me, personally, I won't do it again, and I won't do radiation again, which means there's no other option for me at this point but to walk on faith. And I would like to quickly share that when I flatlined last year for 9 minutes and 46 seconds, I always tell people there's only 2 ways a person in that predicament can spend their time, either with God or the devil. and I spent my time with God all that time before they were able to bring me back. So I'm just going to choose to walk out on faith because I've seen. And when you don't have that oxygen going to your brain, can't go for that long time, a lot of my friends, they joke, they say, you should be retarded right now. We laugh, we joke about it, but seriously, I should. And I spent my whole time with God. So I know for a fact, I like to share with people, that there is a God. I don't know what he looked like, I don't know what she looked like, but I spoke to him, and I know for a fact that, there's a higher power that exists.
Wow.
So I choose to walk out on faith. You hear me? Because let me tell you something. When I was diagnosed with my brain tumor years ago, I had a doctor tell me, all these years on all this medication, and you haven't been on dialysis yet? Your kidneys have not failed you yet? That's not medicine. That's not that's not luck. That's God. So I choose to walk out on faith. Because I 100% believe that. I believe that I'll be okay. And if I'm not, guess what? Then I'm not. Ain't no way to cheat death. Ain't no way to do it. And I don't want to spend my days suffering. Do people understand what people go through doing chemo? It's a sickening. So people think, chemo is a solution. No, you know what? Chemo is, especially if you have to go every week. It's by the time you snap yourself back, you're back in there, sitting in the chemo clinic next to 5 other people, watching the TV, IV, doing your treatment, and then you know what? Next few hours, you're throwing up, you're on the toilet, moving your bowels and throwing up at the same time, you're yucky, you're sick, you're weak. I don't want to spend my days like that. My whole thing with cancer is all this money being raised. People don't understand that the medical field is a serious business. And that's all it is. It's a serious business.
Now, I know you're not going through this alone. I know you have children as well. How many children do you have exactly?
5.
You have 5 children. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, and so
3 young ones and 2 older ones.
And they're all there with you as you're going through this?
Yeah. Sleep in the hospital. I've been in the hospital for 3 months straight. In the hospital. This has been actually my longest stint out of the hospital. I spent my last 2 years, last birthday and the year before that, I spent 3 years. My birthday for 3 years. Every 3 years consecutive in the hospital. My birthday parties were in the hospital.
Wow.
I don't go in for a day or 2 a week. It's like the least I'm in is a month. I have my youngest child was 4 years old. I have 3 young children that have to deal with this. And then my 2 youngest. And then, I have a son from Buffy, from the Fat Boys that passed away.
Right.
And he passed away from an illness in front of my son. So it's hard for him to see me, even home in bed, sick. I spend days in the bed sick.
Wow. Well, look, we are not going to hold you up. We know that you're going through it. Our prayers are with you. And, I just thank you for taking the time out to just share a little bit of what's going on, with you, with us. And we will absolutely stay in touch with you and keep you in our prayers.
Thank you.
All right. Love you, baby.
I love you too.
Yo, Shonda is sitting here speechless. See your diamond?
You know what it is? It's just that I'm amazed at the transparency, just the fact that Queen Pen was able to share, the way she was, such intimate details and whatnot, and just the importance of faith, when you're struggling with cancer. And it was just powerful. It was powerful to listen to and to hear. Oh, man.
I know. Trust me, this is definitely, this is pulling on the heartstrings. Hip-hop's never seen this. All right, hip-hop's never felt this. This is a beat that I'm sure hip-hop's not familiar with like this. A heartbeat. How about that beat? All right. So we're looking at the page right now, and we went from, where were we? We were at what?
I think we started at 1387.
And where are we now?
1400.
Okay,
right.
well,
we're getting there.
Okay, seems like about a dozen people are listening.
1401. 1401.
Oh, 1401. All right, so 13 people are listening. Come on, y'all killing me out there, man. We're doing our part. We need you guys to do yours. I have a good friend of mine on the phone right now. This is a cat that we've done shows together. We've even brawled together, not with each other, but, with the opposing team. And we've been through a lot, man. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, Mr. Pee Wee Dance himself, Joe Ski Love.
Hey, what's up, King?
What's going on, man? How you been, man?
Nothing much. Just sitting there playing my little cousin in some NBA 2K12.
All right, having family time. I'm not mad at you, man. You know, it's crazy, man. Okay, last time we actually just hung out together was, what was it, about like 2 months ago. We did a breakfast thing. You know, hip hop refers to each other as family, and we've never sat down and had breakfast together. And so me, Shonda, put this little Mama Luke breakfast thing together and had you, LA Sunshine, Big Jeff came through full force. And during this time, you and I, we were all pretty much just talking, and we were talking about how this disease has affected, everyone. And you shared some stories with us, man, that just totally wowed me. And I'd love for you to, share exactly how this has affected you, man.
Anybody who knows me well knows I lost my mother going on 12 years in January to stomach cancer. A few years after that, I lost what I call my second mom, my favorite aunt. I hope that none of my other aunts are listening. But she's my favorite aunt. She was like a mother to me. She was my mother's older sister, and I lost her to cancer. And basically out of, I believe, it's 13 of them on my mother's side. Out of 13, there's only been 2 that I know of that haven't been diagnosed with any sort of cancer. So I've lost basically like the majority of my family to this disease.
This is so crazy, man. I mean, because, as hip hop artists, how we do. We talk about, what next video we got coming out, what next song, or how our show is going to go down. We never sit down and talk about, family like this, or talk about how things are affecting us. And when you said this to me, man, I realized that, I'm not alone, or we're not alone. Everyone is going through this, man. How did you deal with all of this?
I pray a lot. And the funny thing is, I know us as a people don't look at counseling as a valuable asset. But I went to a lot of counseling, man. I went to bereavement counseling for like over a year. Then after that, I sought out, my own private counseling because it's a very hard thing to deal with. People don't understand. But the counseling helped a lot, knowing that there were other people that were going through the same thing. So, everyone thinks they're the only one going through something when they're going through it, but you're not alone. There's a lot of people going through the same thing, and sometimes it's good to talk to those people just for a little comfort. You listen to what they have to say and how they deal, and you might be able to implement that into your everyday life. You're never going to get over it, ever. That's something that people got to realize also. You'll never get over it, but sometimes through the help of others, it's a little easier to deal with on a daily basis. So that's what I do.
So let me ask you, man, what have you been doing, after the success of the hits, of course? What have you done afterwards?
Just basically a family man, raising my children, and through the grace of Allah, still doing shows. It's crazy, 25 years later, people still want to see me do that damn song. I just came back from the Poconos in Ohio. So it's like, I call myself the Chubby Check the rap. He had the twist. I got Pee Wee's dance.
I hear you, man. All right, well, look, here's what we're going to be doing, man. With the whole, Mama Luke movement, we are definitely reaching out to all of us, man, because sadly, the last time I saw you, it just hit me. Last time I saw you was at Heavy's Wake, and we're losing each other, man. We absolutely need to, strengthen this tie. We're all we've got. And so as pioneers in everything we've done in hip hop, it's our job right now to lead everyone through other experiences that they're going to go through, which is this. And I'm stepping up and I'm asking everyone to do the same. And I know me and Shonda got your support. Am I correct?
Oh, yes, definitely. And I just wanted to touch on that heavy D thing, man. That was crazy, you know. That was my brother in music and in faith and in life. And may Allah be pleased with what he's done with his life, because he was a really good dude. And it's just a shame to see, you know, such a great person die at such a young age. It's the same to see anybody die, but that's just a part of life. But it's just so shocking when it's somebody that's still, you know, in their prime, so to speak, you know. I know he was working on a new album, and he was, you know, trying to get back into this hip-hop thing, but I don't know if he ever left. I know he had a reggae album that was kind of hot, but my condolences to his family and his fans. You know, that brother did a whole lot of things in his business. People, you know what, I didn't realize how many hit records Heavy D had until after he was gone.
Isn't that crazy?
It was like, I was watching, I guess it was VH1 or one of these channels, all day they was playing Heavy D, and it was like records I had totally forgot about. I'm like, damn, I forgot about that. Freaking Head was a big dude in this business.
Yes, he was.
Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, LeVert. I mean, who didn't he do a record with? Teddy Riley.
It's absolutely a shame for us to lose this dude, man. And everyone I speak to about him all says the same thing. There is nothing negative you can say about this dude, and that is so true.
He was a really good brother, man. I mean, I believe we both met him at the same time. We was out on the road when Mr. Big Stuff first came out. And like I said, he was just a really humble and laid-back dude. And it's just, you know, like I said, may Allah be pleased with him and God bless him.
Absolutely, man. And we all have to stick together, man, for real, for real. I love you, Joe. I thank you for coming down on this show, man. And we will absolutely stay in touch with you. Blessings to you and yours, man, for real.
Oh, yes, thank you. Tell my sister I said what's up.
Your brother.
Steve Love, my brother.
Joe Steve Love. Now, here's the deal. We're just going to go on right now, you know, to the next caller. Yeah. And yeah, she's already smiling because you know who it is.
Yes, this is my girl.
All right. This is, I mean, I've known her longer than you, but I think,
I think we're closer.
Yeah, I think you guys are closer. Yeah, I'm hating right now. We have our good friend. This is the young lady that, she came out before J-Lo, before Selena. She set it off for this, female Latin thing that takes off right now. So,
and she's still sexy.
Okay. I can't be mad at that. Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend, Lisa. Lisa, what's good, baby?
Hey. What's good? Life is good. Life is very good.
Good. I am so glad to hear that. How you been, Ma?
Working hard. You know, I do my thing. I just be me.
I hear you, man. For those that don't know, you are the first female artist I've ever written a song for. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
You are absolutely the first. You are my first gold record, my first platinum record. Did you know that, Lisa?
I didn't know. Oh, my God. Don't put tears in my eyes. I just got on here.
And, okay, you do remember the song I did for you, of course.
I'm private property.
Wow. It was an album cut. It was an album cut, but it was on the first.
It was an awesome cut because still to this day, people request that song to be performed at my show.
Okay, I guess I did my thing back then in the mid '80s.
Yeah, you sure did.
Wow.
I want to thank you for that, though. I have to thank you for that because I appreciate it. I still love it. God bless you.
Oh, man, thank you. That warmed my heart as well. For those that don't know, the last time you and I shared a bill together was on the Tom Joyner cruise. You remember that, right? The Fantastic Voyage?
Absolutely. Who's not going to remember that?
Right. And actually, that was also the first time that you met Mama Luke. Do you remember that?
I remember she had her pink hat on, and I looked at her, and she seemed so humble, so sweet. And we hugged. I didn't even know who she was, and we hugged. And then I was introduced. And we had many of conversation on the voyage. She didn't know that I am also a survivor, and I explained that whole story to her. And she and I, we cried as we told each other stories, and it was incredible. She was an amazing woman, still is an amazing soul in my heart. for sure, when I need to talk to somebody, along with my mom, who's also passed on, I speak to her too. So it was enjoyable.
Wow. Now, as you know, she had a 3-year battle, and she was absolutely sick when she went on there with us. And that was like an incredible trip for her. And unfortunately, a week after we docked, she passed away.
I know. I got the phone call, and my heart almost stopped. But, we got to keep beating for her sake, if not for any other sake. Her story needs to be told, and people need to know that, there's ways out there. There's ways.
Now, you just said that, you had your experience as well. You want to share that with us, please?
Sure. I didn't know that I was the first female that you wrote for. Full Force, nor you, nor any of the Cult Jam knew that I was battling breast cancer while I was on the road with you guys. And I remember I remember the first time I found out. It was when I think we had like 2 weeks off, and then we had to jump back on the tour. I came back, and I had the pack on my hip, and I was hiding everything. And the first thing that was said to me when I went back on the road was, we have to have a talk. And the guys, I still never, ever have mentioned this story to them, but they pulled me to the side, and they said, listen, now that you're married, are you pregnant? And I said, no, I'm not pregnant. And they kept asking me, well, you seem very tired. And I was like, oh, I'm just, I got to get back on the road. I got to get back into the sync of stuff, get myself together. I will be fine. I didn't want to mention anything to anybody because, of course, I was tired because I had my pack on and I was going through all that medication, and it wasn't easy. They thought I was getting heavy, and it was just being swollen from the medicines that I was taking. And I hid it simply because back then, which is, I'm going to tell you, 23 years now that I've been doing it, they didn't have groups that you can talk to. A lot of people that were going through any illnesses, the public eye back then didn't take well to it. Mm-hmm. And I was having issues with record labels and all of that too, and being a female, being a Latina, they never focused on any of that, but because I was female and Latina, they never focused on anything that was going on with me, and I didn't know how they were going to take it. I didn't want to be pushed out of the group. I didn't want to stop working because, my life is to be on a stage. If I stop performing, to this day, if I stop performing, I know I will pass on. There's nothing that anyone can do. My heart will stop if I can't sing. So I didn't want to say anything to anybody. And I went through it, I chose to just hide it.
Right.
Yeah, today I don't do that. For many years now, I've been working with a lot of different programs, a lot of different charities, and I do what I can. You can talk to people. You can find different medicines that you could get on to help you that are better for you. Places will help you. There's so many different places you can go to.
And that's exactly why we're, addressing you right now, so you can, share some of your experience with us. Like, for example, okay, I didn't know any of this. And so if I did know about this back then, what would you have liked for someone like us to do? Like, if we did know we wanted to help, what would have been a good way of going about doing that?
I would like to have had some sessions where I could just sit and talk about it. Anywhere I could go to speak to somebody to make me feel better, because I felt like less of a woman. When I found out that I had breast cancer, I had 4 tumors in one breast and 2 in the other. Thanks to the grace of God, I didn't have to have mastectomy, but I was diagnosed with ductal carcinoma. And I had everything removed, and everything came back okay. So I just had to go through my chemo and my radiation back there, and I was okay. In 3 years of doing that, I was okay. So I've been fine since. Thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
Yes, thank you. I didn't have anybody to talk to back then. I just had my mom, and it took me, I'm going to tell you, close to a year to even fess up to Mommy.
Oh, wow.
And little did I know that she went through cancer herself. She had uterine cancer, which runs in my family.
Oh, wow. And so then how did you find out?
By myself, I started doing research. I started, I needed to find out information. So I started talking to my family doctor, to my mom's oncologist that we know none of us knew that she went through all of this. I started just talking to doctors and people. I just started talking. I started to talk to everybody. And that's how I learned. Thankfully, many years later, I met my manager, Stephanie Sirocco, whom I've been with almost 20 years now. But she helped me to find a lot more out because she herself is going through cancer. And this is her 11th year going through lymphoma. And she's, we researched a lot, she and I. We talked to many, many different organizations. And that's what helped. The talking, the fessing up to it, helped me mentally.
Wow. And that's exactly why we're doing this today. I mean, we really want to let everyone know that they're not the only ones going through this. And, you think of your idols and, cats that you grew up listening to and, think that they're beyond this. And we're not. This is affecting everyone. So here's a question to you. Now, how did you go about finding out your situation? Was it a routine doctor check, or did you give yourself, your own self check? How did you?
I found myself getting tired, my body hurt, and every time I touched the feel, I would give myself the test, of course, and I would touch. And I kept feeling something, so I said, oh my gosh, I need to go get a checkup. And I, scheduled my routine physicals for when we got off the road for those 2 weeks. And I spoke to my doctor and I said, I don't know what this is here. And he touched and he was like, well, let's start running all these tests. And we ran the tests, and lo and behold, 3 days later, everything came back that I had cancer. And if it wasn't for me checking on myself, because, that's one thing about all of us, this big happy family that we had, thank God for that. We used to always think about health. Everything was about health, eating the right foods. You need to work out. You need to stay fit and healthy and drink a lot of water and this and that.
Under the Full Force umbrella, come on, that is how we had to live. There was no drugs in our family. You know how we do. Yep.
I was always checking myself, always.
Right,
we need to really stress that. Yes, everyone gets sick. Everyone is not, it can be susceptible to a lot of things that come to us. But, as a female, I have to continually, being on the road, I have to check myself. And I did that. And just things weren't feeling right.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, let's run all these tests because this doesn't feel right. To his touch, he said, there's a lump here. Let's find out what the rest of this is. And it came back like that's how I found out. And I was shocked, honestly. He told me he didn't want me to get back on the road. And I told him, I need to do this because if I don't, I'm going to drive myself insane. I got to do something that's going to keep my mind, stable, set. I got goals. I got things that I want to do. I can't let this stop me. So he showed me the pack, and that thing was heavy. It was like walking around with, back in the day, a Walkman. Remember them?
Wow.
And I used to wear big shirts, big sweatshirts and jackets and huge belts. I know if you guys ever look at pictures, if you see those big belts that I used to wear, I used to hide everything underneath everything. Trust me.
Wow. And you started a big trend with that because everyone else started rocking their big belts, not knowing that you were doing what you were doing. And they saw it as Lisa's doing it. That's cool. I want to do it too.
Yeah, so,
Wow.
Thank God that's how they saw it. Because I didn't know anybody asking me questions. I really, honestly, back then, I didn't know how to answer any questions. I didn't. And when the guy pulled me to the side and asked me, are you pregnant? I was like, what? Wow. It was because of the weight that I was putting on. At first, I was swollen from all the stuff I had to take. And then I started losing hair, and I couldn't eat a lot. And I found myself sleeping a lot. I remember being on the bus and the guys would wake me up saying, hey, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm okay.
Wow.
I had to do my thing. So, you know what? I'm glad I did it the way I did. It would have been easier if I just came out with it back then, but I'm all right now.
Right, and that was the other question. How are you today?
I'm in impeccable condition, thank you. Thank you, God.
That's my girl.
Yes, and I'm a mommy, and, I remember when I started doing all the chemo and radiation, they told me that it was a big chance that I wasn't going to be able to have children, and that was another thing. Wow. That killed me because when it comes to parenthood, my best accomplishment are my children.
Very good. And how many? I
have
is that?
2 little boys, 5 and 7. I waited so long, but they're my gift. They were my gift from God, and I'm proud of that. So I'm me today, still the same woman, just with added attraction.
And so what is Lisa doing today? Because I know you did your acting, you've been an artist, you've done a little bit of everything. What are you doing today?
I'm still doing the same thing. I'm out there performing. I basically work every weekend. I opted to just do weekend gigs because I want to be home for my kids. But I'm also working with other performers. You know, I usually help them vocally. I do a lot of vocal training. I'm also helping with lyrics with my manager because she's a writer, and we get together and we do a lot of that. But I continue on with the acting. There's a lot of things in the works. I don't want to jinx it. More things coming up. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I hope to continue and get back on the stage with you guys. Come on now.
Okay. Yeah, we all got to continue doing that. That's what we do. But here's something else that I'm doing that I would love to have you be a part of. We formed an alliance with HHC, which is the Health and Hospital Corporation, and we'll be visiting a few hospitals and serenading a few a few cancer fighters. And I would love to have you on that team and help make them feel, a little better in what they're going through, take them away from what they're going through for a few minutes. So can I rely on you to be on that team and help me do this?
I'm telling you right now, and this is going in the public ear, as I might say. Yes.
Yes, that's what I wanted to hear.
If I can get to you, I'm there. I am so there.
Very good. Because, this all started actually with me doing this for Mama Luke. I was in the hospital with her when she was going through her treatment, and they couldn't find her vein. And so one of the nurses suggested that I sing to her so that her vein could appear. And so I started to serenade her, and sure enough, the vein did appear. And from that point, and so from that point on, I said, okay, you know what? Let's do this. I want to go to different facilities like this and make you forget what you're going through for a minute. And so we're putting that together, and I'm getting the team. Of course, Full Force is going to be on that team as well. And, it'd be the one big family all together again, doing something extra this time around.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will be there whenever you need me, please. If I can help them, it will help me.
Before we go, what advice would you give to anyone who's going through it, either if they're going through it themselves or if they're affected by someone else who's going through it? What advice would you give to people out there?
My best advice to you is to fight the fight that's worth fighting. Go there and don't say no to any tests, any new remedies, if they want to use you as a guinea pig, don't say no. Try, because when you try, you will find. So fight the fight that's worth fighting, and that's life.
Thank you so much for sharing all this with us, man. This is my girl right here. I love you. We are family for real, for real, for real.
We are family, and I love you too.
Oh, man. Warming my heart. Thank you again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the legend, Lisa. Lisa, thank you for being on the Mama Luke Walk the Walk radio show.
God bless you all.
Oh, God bless you too, Lisa. Man, she brought back such good memories of my mom, Gay Francis Lucas. And it's just so crazy because this movement was birthed out of the pain of losing my mom and the hopes of saving your moms and your sisters and your aunts and your cousins. And men get breast cancer too. And this next caller is someone that's an expert in that area.
Oh, absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this one caller, and then we're going to wrap this up. There's a lot that there's a lot that we can do within this time frame, but we can't get it all in. So I definitely want you guys to go to the page. That's the Mama Luke page, Facebook, Mama Luke GFL. I believe we're up to 1405 now. We'd love to get more. But we're just going to go on to the next call. Thank you all the sponsors. Go to the page so you can get the support that we've been getting from these sponsors. So on the line right now, I got my dude, Gene Derkack, who is the Vice President of the American Cancer Society. What's going on, man?
Django, man, how are you?
I'm good, man. Look, I just want to thank you so much, man, because like I said, a lot of cats, all they do is talk. You have been walking the walk. Every event that we've put together to make this thing happen, you've been right there with us, and I thank you so much for supporting us, man.
Well, I appreciate it, man, but I'll tell you what, without you and without Team Mama Luke, we wouldn't be anything. So I appreciate everything you do and everything Team Mama Luke does for the American Cancer Society.
what's so crazy about what's going on is that, you know, we started walking with you guys, what is it, like 2 years ago, and the reason why we've done that is because Mama Luke was walking with you guys for over a decade, and she was walking in honor of her mother-in-law, who, you know, also suffered from from breast cancer, who died from breast cancer, not knowing that years later we'd be walking in her honor. And tell us a little bit about the organization.
Well, you know, it's usually stories like that keep me at the American Cancer Society. You know, it's about, you know, remembering those that we've lost, but honoring those that are still fighting. And I mean, you've been out to Newark and you see how powerful a day that is when we got 12,000 people strong coming out to fight breast cancer. And again, putting teams together to raise money and awareness to fight this dreaded disease, because unfortunately our women are dying too young to this disease. And we know that if you catch it early, you have a tremendous chance of surviving this thing. So, you know, I've been doing this walk for about 12 years now. Each year it just keeps getting bigger and better and more people, and we're just excited to have teams like yours come out and participate, because we need as many people as possible to create that awareness, to create that buzz, to raise that money, to do the research that is, you know, critical in finding a cure for this thing.
Well, as you said, of course, we have to raise money to, you know, find this cure. What is happening in that world? I mean, you know, everyone, of course, is getting involved and doing what they can, and we're looking at you guys to getting that money to the proper people to make things happen. What are your results like in that area?
Well, you know what, Tango, we're doing some great things. You know, every year we raise over $100 million in research, not just for breast cancer, but research in cancer as a whole. And, you know, since the American Cancer Society has been in existence, we funded over 42 Nobel Prize winners when it comes to researching cancer. So, you know, we're making a tremendous dent in looking at what's causing this thing, what people can do to prevent it. And, you know, the American Cancer Society, bottom line, is about creating a world with more birthdays, having more people survive this disease. And, you know, we do it in a few ways, and research is one of the critical ways that we do it. And, you know, I think that what we've seen over the past few years is not only a tremendous amount of money being, you know, poured into research, but some really new and exciting things coming out of it that is allowing people to live a lot longer. I think, you know, mammogram is a really good example of that. You know, if you catch breast cancer early, you have an over 98% chance of surviving cancer. That was not the case years ago, and it's because, you know, American Cancer Society was one of the funders that, you know, helped create mammography as the standard for screening, and now women are surviving not only longer, but, you know, a 98% survival rate for that is pretty impressive.
So what are your thoughts on alternative medicine? Like, is there a particular type of medicine that you think one should definitely follow, or are there a few that you recommend? What are your thoughts on a cure for this, on treatment?
Well, so here's the first thing. I think that it's most important that when we get out to people is the message that you have to get screened for breast cancer. I mean, we're advocating hugely for, you know, yearly mammograms at age 40 if you're in good condition, a clinical breast exam every 3 years for women in their 20s and 30s, even, you know, every year for someone that you're over 40. But also not just, not just screening, but prevention and detection too, and how important it is to make sure that you're exercising, that you're getting out there and you're eating a healthy diet, that you're, you know, maintaining a lifestyle that's conducive to not getting cancer in the first place. You know, we're a scientific-based organization at the American Cancer Society, so we believe wholeheartedly that, you know, science is where the results are. And, you know, as for holistic medicine, I think what we advocate, and speaking, you know, for me personally, is that if you eat healthy, if you exercise, if you get screened, you will be okay if you are diagnosed with cancer. You will, you know, find it early, it's treatable, and it will also, you know, really prevent you from getting the disease in the first place.
Wow. Gene, again, man, I know you're a busy guy, and I thank you so much for coming aboard and just being a supporter to the Mama Luke movement. We have so many things that we're going to do together, and I look forward to doing them. And again, I just want to thank you for allowing us to be a part of what you're doing and just being a part of what we're doing.
Well, Tango, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thanks, Team Mama Luke. And I just, I'm so excited to have people like you involved with the American Cancer Society, Team Mama Luke involved with the American Cancer Society, because you guys are, you know, the heart and soul of this organization. And our volunteers are stronger than ever. So thank you for everything that you do.
Mama Luke!
Don't touch that dial. More of the Hip Hop Takeover on the way. 99.5 WBAI.